there's this thing going around how it's baseball season, basketball season. It's none of those seasons because it's draft season, baby. Welcome back, everybody, to We Are Reviewing Sports. My name is James Irvin, and today we are doing the Super Bowl winner mock draft. It will get the very last pick in the first round. I basically consider that a second round pick. So towards the end there, you're pretty much getting a second round pick player. But, a first round player could fall to that spot because something happened. But who do the Tampa Bay Buccaneers need? They have some needs that could happen around the draft. And the draft happens after the free agency period happens. So, yes, when I talk about some of these players, you might lose some of these players. I'm not saying they're going to lose. So, when I say edge rusher might be one of their needs, it could be Barrett, free agent. And some of your more interior pass rushers are. So, yes, when I'm talking about some of the defense, I know they play great. But another thing is Buccaneers do not have a lot of needs. So, you're kind of reaching for some things because they just won the Super Bowl. Of course, they're not going to have as much needs as, say, some of the top spots that we know are some of their top needs. So, without further ado, let's get into their top 5 needs. I think the number one need that they should be looking to address this offseason is the D-line. And not edge rushers, because we'll get to those. I mean the interior D-line run stoppers. You're going to get Vita Vea back, but Ndamukong Suh and some of your others are leaving. They're free agents. I don't think you should pay them. So, Christian Barmore, I think, D-lineman out of Alabama, could be a really good guy who has time to develop. With Todd Bowles, I think absolutely he can have time to develop. He made a big impact in the national championship game. Limited snaps, still made an impact, and he has a very high ceiling. Another one is Davion Nixon out of Iowa. Another high ceiling player. He had a breakout year in 2020. I think either of those two guys can go in. And they're not going to be guys that need to make an immediate impact. They're going to have time to develop. Because like I said, their defense was already stellar and young. They got Vita Vea. They can work with him. And again, Todd Bowles. So I think those would be some good players for him. Number 2, wide receiver. I know they have weapons. I know Mike Evans is taking a pay cut to sign some of their receivers. But Antonio Brown is free agent. You're probably going to lose him. Chris Godwin is free agent. We don't know. After that, it's Scotty Miller. Okay, so I think you got to get another wide receiver. Kadarius Toney. We talked about Rondale Moore, Amon-Ra St. Brown are top receivers. I think that could fall to there. Someone who we haven't talked about, however, is Nico Collins out of Michigan. He has vertical speed and has a good ceiling. Okay, he can be that guy. He needs time to develop, though. Who better to help him develop than Tom Brady? He can get a vertical speed, can go over the top, can make guys miss. He's a very fast player and can go up and make those catches that you need. But he does need time development. So a lot of these guys who I'm saying first round picks, in the second round, they'd be great picks. But these guys are needing time to develop. Some of the other players who I'm mentioning don't really need that much time. But like I said, it's the end of first round pick. So I think Nico Collins out of Michigan, Brady went to Michigan, could easily throw, but I do think there will be better options available. Offensive line, we talked about them. Tevin Jenkins, Liam Eckenberg, Alex Leatherwood, both great pass rushers. They have a lot of people on the offensive line that could probably hit free agency. Tristan Wirfs, great pick, home run pick, great job there. Alex Kappa, though, probably gone. A lot of other interior starters could be gone. So Tevin Jenkins can play. Liam Eckenberg can play. Alex Leatherwood, they can all play. I think they would all be great picks to protecting Tom Brady. Edge rusher. We talked about Gregory Rousseau and Jalen Phillips, both edge rushers out of Miami, who I think can be great picks for both of them. They're going to need help. Like I said, Shaquille Barrett, who was a star in that Super Bowl, he was getting pressure on Mahomes. He is a free agent. There's going to be a lot of teams paying big money for him. So you got to get maybe a younger, cheaper replacement. Let's talk about another one, Jason Webb out of Penn State. He's got the size, and he is very explosive coming off the line. Needs more time to develop, again, like I said, to be that elite first-round pick. But he could be a very, very solid option for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They want to go edge. So he has the potential to be a very good player. Another need that I didn't really throw in when I was making my notes here that I do is linebacker. Lavonte David wants to be the highest paid linebacker in NFL history. And if the Bucs want to address other things, so they may need to look at linebacker here. So another one there is Micah Parsons. Will he fall to 32? I personally don't think so. There are other linebackers I think could. Nick Bolton out of Missouri is another one. He hits really hard. I think he'd be a good Lavonte David replacement. But Lavonte David is a superstar. I think you got to pay him, but impacts other ways. I think it's very smart by Mike Evans, though, to take that pay cut. And I think another need that I have on here is tight end. We know how Brady uses the tight ends. That Buccaneers offense, when you have Tom Brady, you adapt to Tom Brady's style, okay? He loves his tight ends. Gronk, 2 touchdowns. He could retire. We have no idea what O.J. Howard is, and it seems like they didn't really like O.J. Howard because there was trade talks all over last season of him going to New England. But they got Gronkowski. We don't know his future. And we don't know about O.J. Howard. So, Pat Freiermuth out of Penn State. Yes, another Penn State player. High ceiling for blocking, but is already a very good vertical threat. If you don't want to use O.J. Howard, they were getting the 3rd string tight end involved a lot in that Super Bowl, I was noticing. So Tom Brady loves throwing to his tight ends. He's got a high ceiling for blocking. He's an okay blocker. He can be a great blocker. He's already a good vertical threat. So if you want to keep using Gronkowski in that blocking tight end, I think Pat can be a great blocker or a great vertical threat for Tom Brady in that offense. I think you've got to get another tight end, though. So, top 5, 6 needs, I say. D-line, wide receiver, O-line, edge, tight end, and linebacker if you don't want to pay Lavonte David, because that takes away money from stuff. Look, you're losing stars. It happens to everybody. Now, everybody's going to have $100 million to pay, especially if you want that one specific guy. I think you got to sign Lavonte David, and you got to maybe get Chris Godwin. Definitely one of those offensive linemen. I think Alex Kappa. And then you look to the draft, but you have Brady, and you're going to be okay as long as you have Tom Brady. That's all. But let's get into a simulated mock draft, of course, using the Draft Network. Before it gets to the Buccaneers pick in the mock draft simulation, I want to say I am making these picks off of free agency, okay? I don't know what's going to happen with Gronkowski when I say tight end. I don't know what's going to happen with the free agent signings. I am judging this based off who they may possibly lose, and they're going to lose some things. So I just wanted to say that. So some of the available players, Tevin Jenkins, Liam Eckenberg. You could go Mac Jones. There's Christian Barmore right there. So who would I take? There's also Azeez Ojulari. We like him. I like him a lot. He can be a really solid player. But it's really all depending on who they lose. I think if they're in this spot, they are going to take Tevin Jenkins, get some protection for Tom Brady. Let's get into the second mock draft. Again, with the Tevin Jenkins pick, I'm gonna guess you're probably gonna lose some sort of offensive line there, but you gotta protect Brady. I think he's really good with his footwork, makes good work with his hands. You can move him inside to guard. I'm pretty sure he has experience playing there. And on the other side of Tristan Wirfs, who has been an all-star. He has been playing great. But we are here. Pick ahead of us just did Dylan Moses to the Chiefs. A good pick. We'll get to a Chiefs mock draft eventually. Yeah, if you're not going to pay Lavonte David, I think Dylan Moses could absolutely be there. But here we are again. Kadarius Toney. Yeah, I'm taking Kadarius Toney. He's a good fit. He could be just like Chris Godwin. Mike Evans, over the top receiver. Kadarius Toney move into the slot. Make people spin. He's got elite speed. Let's get into the third mock draft. Yes, I did take a wide receiver right there. Probably could lose Chris Godwin. You're definitely losing Antonio Brown. And we don't know Scotty Miller status yet. So, yes, Kadarius Toney would be a good fit there. I think he'd be a good fit really anywhere. I think the Chiefs, I've mocked him a couple times. The Buccaneers, yeah, could absolutely use him. So we're here now. Both top running backs are available. That's interesting. Offensive tackle. Kadarius Toney is there. But for your video's sake, I say that this is happening. If Najee Harris is there, that would be really tempting. But I think they probably go Kadarius Toney. And I'm just going to take Christian Barmore for video's sake, just to spice it up a little bit. Like I said, limited snaps, but made a big impact. He doesn't have to be an instant star right here. I think that's a very good fit for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's get into the fourth mock draft. So here's something I wanted to address too. 32 could absolutely be a good trade down spot. We saw it when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. They traded back into the second round with the Baltimore Ravens to get their guy Lamar Jackson. Turns out that was good. So maybe we're towards the end of the second round and the Steelers don't take a quarterback, or the Colts, Bears, and they want to trade up back into the first round, get their guy Mac Jones, Kyle Trask, or Kellen Mond, I think those would be the best three quarterback options available, then they absolutely could. So 32 could be a very good trade down spot, and I don't think the Buccaneers would be opposed to having a trade down spot at 32. But final mock draft, let's see who's available. Is there a good one? Elijah Vera Tucker. I don't know why they keep having him fall in this. I think that'd be a very good interior offensive line, get some guard help. But I'm taking Jalen Phillips. I like Jalen Phillips a lot in this draft. I think he could be great, especially towards the later end. I don't think he's going to be a top 10, but if you could snag him towards the later end, which teams can, I think that'd be an absolute steal. Look, he wouldn't have, if they shine Shaq Barrett, he wouldn't have to be their number one pass rusher, but he can be the number one pass rusher. He is fun. I think he can be a phenomenal player. I love his potential as a prospect. Now, so took receiver, interior D-line, offensive line, and edge rusher. That's what I think the Buccaneers should do in the mock draft. Let me know what you guys think down below. Also, support has been great on these mock draft. Buffalo Bills won, killed it. Packers won, killed it. Falcons won, been killing it. We're ready to the Super Bowl winners now. Let me know which team should do next. I was thinking about doing the Lions next because they're not drafting a quarterback at 7 anymore. I think it'd be interesting to see which direction they go, and I think it'd probably be a wide receiver, but that is a video for another time. Thank you all for listening to this mock draft.